Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we have this 2023 BMW X5 and we're going to do the Taillight Tint installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before doing the installation on the taillights, and this is how it looks after the installation. So the tint has PPF properties, which means it'll protect the lenses from yellowing over time, as well as protecting it from any small scratches or any road debris that may hit the lens. Link for the product will be provided below. So with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So the tools you need in order to install the tint kit will be Slip Solution, Tack Solution, a heat gun, squeegee, and a microfiber towel. And a step-by-step guide in order to create the two solutions will be in the description below. So before we start with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the entire tail light. So all we need to do is just apply Slip Solution to the lens. And with a clean microfiber towel, start removing any contaminants that the tail light may have. And then once we're done prepping the tail light, we can start with the installation. So with this one, you could either do the bottom or the top piece, it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to installing both of these, it's the same thing. So just make sure to align the film correctly and then everything should just fall into place. So apply Slip Solution to the lens and to the adhesive side of the film. And with this one, start by aligning the film on this section of the tail light first. So make sure it just reaches right on the edge, and make sure that the lower section of the tint aligns with the body line of the tail light here. So it's not going underneath, it's just following this flat area. So make sure you align it first here, and everything else should fall into place. So grab your tack solution and apply tack solution underneath and then on top of the film. Hold it in position and start tagging it down to secure it. And now that this is secured, just continue on with the rest of the panel. So just lift it and apply tack solution underneath the film. Make sure it stays aligned, and then just grab your squeegee and start tacking down everything. And then just make sure you remove all the solution underneath the film. And once this is tacked down, just apply tack solution one more time. Grab your heat gun and your microfiber towel. The heat gun will be used in order to heat up the edges and remove any fingers, and also helping the adhesive activate faster. And our microfiber towel will be used to help it tack down after we finish applying heat, and also helping remove the solution that's underneath the film. So you would just repeat this step until you tack down the entire edge of the film. So we have a small piece just for this location here. So this one, start by aligning it on the edge. With this one, we recommend doing a dry method. That way it's just easier to install and you don't have to wait for the film to dry. So once you align it here, use your finger and just carefully help it tack down on the edges. So you would just do it like this, make sure everything sits. And in order to help the adhesive activate faster, we're going to grab our heat gun and our microfiber towel. So just apply heat around the film, and as you're applying heat, let the film cool down and use your microfiber towel to just help it sit on this edge. And you just make sure you repeat this process until the film is tacked down and it's not lifting on the edges. And once it's secured, we can move on with the next installation. So now we're moving on with this one. When I mentioned earlier, it's the same installation process as how we did it with this one. It's more of just aligning it on the edge as well. So spray Slip Solution on the lens and on the film, and you would start like how we did it with the top piece, aligning it to this edge. And once you have it aligned just on the edge, make sure it stays aligned on the bottom, like how it stayed aligned here. and everything else should just fall into place. So just keep it aligned, it should be good. And now we just need to secure it. So all you need is tack solution underneath and on top of the film. Make sure it stays aligned. Once it's aligned, hold it in position and carefully start tagging it down to secure it. Make sure to remove all the solution underneath this section of the film. Make sure it's secured. If it's not moving, you should be good. And now just follow through with the rest of the film. Make sure it stays aligned, and you just use your squeegee and tack everything down. You might need to move the film just a little bit, so stretch it a little bit to the edge here. Just a light stretch in order to remove the fingers here, and then just help it tack down throughout the remaining section of the film. Make sure it stays aligned and tack it down. And now just apply tack solution, heat, and use your microfiber towel to seal the edges, and then we can move on with the next two pieces here. Okay, so now we're going to start with this piece here. So with this one, you could do it the same way as how we did it for the top piece. You don't need no solution in order to place it. All you need to make sure is just it stays aligned right on the edge. So make sure you align it on the edge. And once you have it on the edge, use your finger to just carefully help it tack down around the curve, and then sit it until it fits up to here. So make sure everything stays tacked down, place it down, and you should be good. And now same process as how we did it with the top. Apply heat, that way the adhesive on the film is able to activate faster, and then use your microfiber towel just to help the film tack down. And you just repeat this process until you make sure the film is not lifting. So make sure you apply heat throughout the entire edges, that way it stays tacked down and it doesn't lift over time. And for this piece, same thing. You just align it on the edge, make sure you keep it aligned, and you just bring it in and tack it down. And make sure to remove any air bubbles that may be underneath the film. Once you see that it's good, apply heat. That way we help that adhesive activate faster, and that should be it. And once this step is done, we can move on with the side pieces here. So now we're moving on to this section of the tail light. So just apply slip solution to the lens and slip solution to the adhesive side of the film. And with this one, align it right on the edge. Make sure you're covering the top and the bottom. And once you have it aligned, go ahead and start applying tack solution throughout the entire panel. So what you could do is apply tack solution as well. Have it aligned, that way the adhesive starts to activate faster. Once you have it on the edge and it's aligned, grab your squeegee and tack down this entire section. That way it doesn't move when we continue on with the rest of the installation. Once you secure this piece, all we need to do is just lift the film and align it to this section. So you're not going to need to stretch. All you need to make sure is just it stays aligned here to cover the red reflector, and it should end up to here. Just make sure you hold it, tack it down to secure it, and then for this part, just help it tack down like this. And if you're having a little bit of trouble tacking down the top area, you can always apply tack solution and heat. That way it sits more faster. So let's say there's fingers or you're having trouble tacking it down on top, apply tack solution and then a little bit of heat throughout the entire panel where the film is lifting. Once you finish applying heat, you can wrap your microfiber towel around your squeegee and just start tacking down the entire panel. That way we're able to secure it and remove any fingers if we have any on the top area. And then to seal the edge, you can also apply a little bit of heat and use your microfiber towel to help it tack down faster. Just like that. And now we move on to the bottom piece. So for this piece, it's almost the same process, if not the same, as the installation we did here. So with this one, you can already start by applying tack solution on the lens and tack solution on the adhesive side of the film instead of using slip solution. Align it right on the edge. It is going to feel a little bit more stickier since we are applying tack solution instead of slip solution. So once we have it aligned, apply just a little bit of tack solution on top, grab your squeegee and secure this top area and the lower section. And now just finish off aligning the film to the edge right here. You're going to need to make sure that it stays aligned on the bottom. So make sure you're covering the lower section. And if you need to lift to readjust it, you can, just as long as the lower section is being tacked down. And then just do the same process that we did up here. If we have fingers, help them tack down with tack solution and heat. And then once you're done with this step, we can move on with the last piece that covers the section underneath here. So for this last piece, it is going to be just a little tricky in terms of just making sure it stays aligned. So just apply slip solution to the lens and to the adhesive side of the film. And with this one, start by applying tack solution just on the edge here and on the edge of the film. That way it will start to tack down as soon as we start laying it to the panel here. So make sure you align it just on underneath here. Grab your squeegee, hold it in position and tack it down to secure it. And with this one, all we need to really make sure is just that it covers this whole red section here of the reflector, because everything else is blacked out already, so we don't have to worry about that section. And if we need to lift it and readjust it, we can. We just need to make sure that everything's covered. So like this, and then follow the design here, tack it down here, make sure it's good, and you're following the curve. You can also apply tack solution, that way the adhesive on the film is able to start tacking down faster. So you're going to stretch it a little bit, that way this finger can start forming to the lower section. Hold it in position and tack it down, cover everything, continue lifting and stretching and tagging it down. So just continue on until you reach to the end here. And the finger that was here, just slowly work it down. And then once you only have these small little fingers, you would go ahead and grab your heat gun and start applying heat on each finger. So make sure each finger gets shrunk with heat. Once you shrink the fingers, apply a tack solution underneath it, wrap your microfiber towel around your squeegee, and squeegee at an angle. And now just tack everything down to remove those fingers. And just work each finger until you tack everything down. And then once we finish tacking down the lower section, then we can move on to post heating the entire tail light. So the last thing to do once you finish with the whole installation for the tail light is to post heat the entire tail light. So just make sure you apply tack solution throughout the entire tail light, and you're going to grab your heat gun and start applying heat throughout the entire tail light. That way we help the adhesive on the film activate faster, and also if there's still any film lifting around the edges, we can help it tack down with our heat gun. And we're using our microfiber towel just to help tack down those edges and also help remove any solution that may be trapped underneath the film. So once you're done with this step, you're done with the installation. Thank you for choosing Bogar Tech Design. As a small business, your support means everything to us. If you loved your product, please drop a review. If you have questions or issues, don't forget to message us via email. Once again, thank you so much for the support from our family to yours. So that concludes the installation video for the Taillight Tints for the 2023 BMW X5. We hope that the video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.